Hi everyone, welcome back to Real Patriot Patty. I'm your host Patty. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Olivia Rodrigo, a pop Hollywood singer, handing out free Plan B pills at her concert and promoting abortion with donating a portion of her concert's tickets revenue to the National Network of Abortion Funds. Now, this topic is very important because not only is she advertising and promoting promiscuity and sexualization of young girls with sleeping around with the possibility of getting pregnant, needing Plan B pills to prevent pregnancy, she also supports abortion, of killing young babies in mothers' wombs with the indoctrination, brainwashing, and manipulating of young girls and women, presenting this as if it is for women's reproductive health care, which is actually all about gaslighting and not telling the truth. The reason why this topic is so important because so many young girls and young women look up to Hollywood, look up to celebrities and their advice. In this case, she's promoting women not to value their bodies, to become high-value women, to have respect for themselves, not to sleep around, to actually find quality partners, to have future children, to build a family. But she is promoting women to be promiscuous, to be over-sexualized, pushes the indoctrination of feminism, and supports abortion. In today's video, I'm briefly going just to mention her and a couple of things related to the issue, but truly explain why this is so important for young girls and young women to understand, because young girls and young women are very easily manipulated and are victims of propaganda pushed from the federal government, from education, from Hollywood, and from celebrities such as her advertising this. Olivia Rodrigo, as part of her Guts tour, created a Fund for Good initiative. According to her, and I quote, "The fund works to support all women, girls, and people seeking reproductive healthcare freedom. The fund will directly support community-based nonprofits that champion things like girls' education, support reproductive rights, and prevent gender-based violence." It's interesting that she says support reproductive rights, considering the fact that the administration of Joe Biden that she supports allows biological men to compete with women by changing Title IX, allowing men to now become women based on what they feel and what they identify as versus their biology of the X chromosome or Y chromosome being a man or a woman. So let's talk about the propaganda lie and push that this is the reproductive health care. This is a common myth that is the indoctrination manipulation of women through feminism by the woke left Democrats, and that is that sleeping around is encouraged, over-sexualization of your body being used is encouraged, and taking no responsibility for the consequence of that being getting pregnant and valuing any human life. Because instead of being pro-life, you are pro-choice. The interesting narrative is this, that Olivia Rodrigo herself said this is for women's reproductive health care, because it's my body, my choice. Now, let's go back in history just a couple of years ago when on July 13th, 2021, Rodrigo was invited to the White House to promote COVID vaccinations with the current administration, where she met President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Anthony Fauci to discuss her efforts to spread to young people they should get vaccinated, because it was crucial for the COVID campaign to use Hollywood and celebrities such as her to reach her young audience. So she was advertising vaccines, going to the White House, using her social media platform to say that everyone needs to get vaccinated. But when it comes to my body, my choice for that, you don't really have a choice, because everyone was basically forcing through government, to education, to companies, to Hollywood, that everyone gets vaccinated. So it's my body, my choice when you have a baby inside your womb and you want to get an abortion, but it's not my body, my choice when one doesn't want to get vaccinated. You see how that's a very interesting correlation between each other? Now, here are a couple of reasons why this topic is very important. First of all, she is promoting pills, medication that is manufactured in a lab that naturally stops your hormones with synthetic hormones for you not to get pregnant. So instead of teaching first young girls and women to become feminine women, to have respect for themselves, for their bodies, not to sleep around, not to be promiscuous, not to over-sexualize themselves, instead of addressing that and teaching young girls on being high value, respected women. They are just giving you pills and medication to prevent you from getting pregnant. The second problem with that is that she also supported an abortion fund from a portion of her tickets. Previously has been noted that she was saying F the Supreme Court with overturning Roe v. Wade, which actually gave the power to the states. So it is not from the federal government. It is power given to the states, which of course she doesn't mention. She was screaming F them with enticing the crowd. Now, young girls and young women who are not educated on politics but follow this type of person, they will say, oh yes, F the Supreme Court, without even understanding what that means. Now, the truly third and biggest problem in this scenario is the fact that young girls and young women look up to people like her. She is promoting promiscuity and sleeping around instead of addressing the problem not to that in the first place, which wouldn't cause young girls and young women to have to use Plan B, birth control, or get an abortion. She is not valuing human life. She's valuing abortions and being pro-choice despite the fact that she's pro-vaccine, which doesn't give you a choice. Young girls will seek advice from a celebrity that's paid millions of dollars to promote a specific topic, which is why I despise Hollywood. All celebrities, such as Lady Gaga advertising a trans man of Dylan Mulvaney, that he is a woman on International Women's Day, despite that he is a man. The Biden administration changing Title IX to allow Leah Thomas, a biological male, to compete with Riley Gaines, a biological woman, in women's professional swimming. All of these things are actually stripping away rights of women. But young girls who look up to a person like that don't understand it. If it's not being spoken to, maybe in their house, if it is not spoken to, maybe in their church, if they're not learning about it in school, which the truth is that school is for education of math, science, physics, biology, chemistry, reading, writing, not teaching you sex education. And if they meet certain type of men or are around a certain type of crowd that influences its behavior, these young girls don't know any better. The reason why I'm speaking about this is not to point fingers at young girls and young women, but is to make them understand that this is the whole point of Hollywood, of social media influencing. It is to influence your decision-making skills and get rid of your ability to think and actually process decisions, to realize that every young girl and young woman should respect their body. They should be in a committed relationship before pursuing sleeping around with people. And if pregnancy is one of the causes of having sexual relations, because that's how God created it, women should be very selective and picky and careful with what they're doing to best value themselves as women. So the push of social media influencers, the push of Hollywood, of the federal government, of control of the young mind is the problem here. And young girls who do not have parents or education or don't have the necessary means to understand what this really is, do not see how this is manipulative. This girl gets paid millions of dollars to push propaganda onto you, to manipulate you, to not do what is best for you, but is to push the false reproductive healthcare rights onto women, which is actually a lie, to promote promiscuity and not valuing your body with the sexual revolution of women through feminism, which is the biggest scam and biggest downfall of women, is modern feminism. And she has the influence over young girls and young women who now will take birth control, a synthetic drug that mess with your body and is really bad for you. Promotes Plan B pills for free with condoms, with latex, everything she was giving out at her concert. Donating a portion of her ticket sales not to a good charity cause, not to something that's going to make a difference for young girls and women, such as preventing biological men with this administration to participate in women's sports, or actually educating girls and investing in them to become the best that they can, but it is to promote abortion, of killing a baby in a womb and having no value for human life. This propaganda of feminism, the manipulation of women through the woke left, is truly impacting young girls and women, and Olivia Rodrigo is just another person added onto the list that pushes this narrative. I urge young girls and young women to get educated with what it means to respect your body, to become a feminine woman, to become the best version of yourself that you can, and not allow social media, celebrities, and politicians that have filthy money to be able to push their propaganda and wokeness onto you. This is not to point fingers. This is to try to get to young girls to understand how precious human life is, to respect your body, and not follow celebrities who are screaming at a concert, F the Supreme Court because it gave power to the states, F the Supreme Court because it's for reproductive health care rights. Meanwhile, this administration is stripping away rights from women faster than ever before. It is not to promote promiscuity and over-sexualization of women. It is to promote goodness in you, high value in you, femininity, and living the best life that you can, to have children and a spouse, a family, something that they want to destroy. Because ultimately, women are the happiest in that, and we should thrive in our life and be genuinely happy and not be manipulated, indoctrinated, brainwashed, and confused with Hollywood using these types of celebrities to push this wokeness onto you. Further to add, celebrities in Hollywood such as Olivia Rodrigo have millions of followers, and their influence is huge. Millions of young girls and young women go to concerts, for example, of Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo and Lady Gaga and Madonna, and they spend their money, their parents' money, whose ever money, into these people that later use that money against you. It's the same with government, the same with corporations. But the problem with this is that it is young girls and young women that we are talking about here. They are using the fun of concerts and fun of songs to actually project their message. When you step outside of the box, you see it. When you're in it, you don't even realize certain words that they say, what they mean, certain types of music videos, what they show, how what they're promoting and saying at concerts impact you. Have you ever seen music videos of some of these celebrities of having the devil in them, of having an upside down cross? This is spiritual warfare. It is to destroy God and the family unit. But when you start seeing these things, they're prevalent everywhere. And one of those is through songs, it's through concerts, it's through music videos, and it's being populated over and over again on all platforms to numb your mind to it so you don't see it when in reality it is happening. To summarize, I think it's horrible that a celebrity like her through Hollywood gets paid millions of dollars to push propaganda, indoctrination, and brainwashing, especially of young girls and women. She's advertising for promiscuity, over-sexualization, using birth control, using Plan B, using condoms, going to get an abortion, funding abortions, instead of having value to teach young girls to respect themselves, be high-value women, and have respect for human life. Thank you so much for watching. As always, may God bless you and may God bless America. I'll see you in my next episode.